Matthieu Bonne, welcome back, I should say, and congratulations on becoming the first human ever to cover more than 300 miles or 485 kilometers in 48 hours.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wow, it's amazing. I trained so hard for this. I envisioned myself to break this record, but to do it, it's amazing.
Yeah, it stood since 1996, and of course it was Yiannis Kouros, just like last time, and he thought it was unbreakable, and no one had even been close. When
Yes.
I mean, that final minute when you saw the clock tick down to 48:00, what went on in your mind and body at that time?
Well, it was a very hard challenge. I would go as far as to say that it was harder than the 6 days, because in the 48 hours, there's no room for error. You cannot have any difficulties, or you lose minutes. And if you lose minutes, you lose distance, and your whole pacing plan gets interrupted. It's also close to non-stop running. Like the breaks are very, very limited. And mentally, it feels like I ran for 2 days straight. Really, yeah. My longest break was 12 minutes. And those 12 minutes were like gone in, yeah, it's just too short. And for me, it may be a little bit strange to say that, but 48 hours is short for me. I usually I'm at my strongest, like 6 days or longer, because the 48 hours was a fast pace. But I wanted to try anyway, and it's just crazy that I made it. I was never sure of it because I know that if one thing goes wrong, you can forget about the record. And I got lucky also a little bit with the weather, with the conditions, with my stomach. It was just a perfect storm to break the record. So yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk more about the weather and your body and nutrition, but I mean, you added 11.6 kilometers to this unbreakable record. It's not just that you broke it, but you crushed it. Did you believe that you could really do that well and be the first one to reach 300 miles?
Well, we had a pacing plan for a big distance. We were not shooting for like 475 kilometers because if something wrong goes, you just cannot make the record. So we aimed high, and we made it to a big distance. But honestly, I also took a little bit of gambling. I started very quickly. I raced very hard in the beginning, like the first 6 hours. I maybe went out too hard, I believe. But that was the risk I was willing to take because I knew that the more distance I had after 24 hours, the bigger chance I had to break the record. Because for me, it's like getting as many miles in as possible, and then try to hold on the last 24 hours. On top of that, my friend and competitor Bartos was also aiming for the world record, and he also started out fast like me. So I wanted to stay in front of him because I wanted to keep pressure on him. I don't want him to feel like he was in control of the race. So I just wanted to keep in front of him. Um, it was just a perfect mix of everything. And for a world record, everything has to be perfect, and I would say everything went perfectly and smooth. And I'm so happy because it was also my second attempt. I tried it in Taipei in Taiwan earlier this year, but 1 week before my race, I got sick with the flu. So I had to stop after 6 hours, and I was really disappointed. And to now do it a second time and succeeding, it's just a crazy feeling.
Yeah, and you started as a solo adventurer, breaking records by swimming along the Belgian coastline and running triathlons on the Canary Islands and so on. And then you went into ultra running by doing another kind of solo attempt in 6 days. That well, it was too cold and you got sick.
Yes.
Then
Yes.
you came into this ultra running community during the 6 day record last year, and now you talk about also your friend and competitor Bartosz, and even Andrei Petrovsky was of
Yeah.
course
Yeah. Yeah.
there with their great ambitions. How has it been to come into like now when you are competing with others and not only against yourself and a record?
Yeah, it's a different world for me, and I like it very much because, like you say, I usually do things on my own, and but this is just different, and yeah, it's nice to race against others with the same ambition, with the same mindset, and yeah, the atmosphere is also amazing, especially during World Championships. Everybody is cheering for one another. Yeah, it's just so nice, and yeah, the more deep I got into the race, people were cheering me on, and yeah, it's just amazing. And to see my friend Bartos, who has became one of my best friends now since last year, also did very good. Like he did 465 kilometers, which is the third best of all time.
And
And
he's
Andrei,
almost forgotten now because of you.
yeah, yeah. And Andrei also did good for his debut. 446, I believe. So that's also one of the best performances on a 48. So yeah, it's just amazing. And then the woman also, Patricia. Oh, it's amazing to see that after what she's been through. Um, Also to see Stine and Katja. Yeah, it's just I love it. I just love it.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And let's talk about a bit about the race, because I understand that you learned something from your 24-hour race to break down in the 4 hour blocks. Can you tell us a bit about that strategy that you had to split the race into blocks?
Yeah. For me, my mindset it's only 2 days. That was my mindset. Of course, 2 days is a long time, but I just wanted to make it a little bit easier on my mind, and I told myself, okay, we're just racing 2 days. Just don't change too much. Like I only ran with one pair of Mount Coast shoes. I didn't switch my socks. I kept my calf sleeves on. I maybe switched 2 times my shorts, and that's it. And the short breaks were very limited, of course, but it gave me a lot of yeah a little bit more time to focus on my kine and food and water and just breathing a little bit and then going back out after 6 minutes. And yeah, for me it was just trying to survive every 3 hours. Every 2 hours I had a little break, and that was my mindset to just try to complete every 3 hours without difficulties, keeping my pace up, trying to stay positive. um, and yeah, the first 24 hours everything went perfectly. I was actually in front of my pacing plan around 3 or 4 kilometers. So yeah, it was a huge advantage for me. And then of course the last 24 hours were very hard. Yeah, my pace dropped, of course, which is normal. Um, but yeah, my team was also there to keep track of my progress, to see if everything was going smoothly. And even if my pace dropped a little bit, they made a little bit of adjustments on the brakes. And yeah, I'm so thankful for my team because I also had a little bit of bad moments, of course, where I had a little bit of self doubt. Of course, the longer you stay in the race and you get sleep deprived, and you start doubting yourself and you start calculating. And yeah, it's just once you pass that 24-hour mark, it's just a different world. And for me, the art of ultra running really comes into play when you once you pass the 24-hour mark, because every muscle fiber in your body wants to stop. You are starting to hallucinate. Your mind is trembling, is playing tricks on you. So yeah, it's up to you what you decide to do in that moment. And luckily, I also had a good team to help me in that, because otherwise, I don't think you cannot do it alone, of course. But you also need the people to motivate you and to say the right things at the right moments. Yeah, it's so important.
Yeah, and I understand that you had a big team around you, and even there was a moment because my father was there supporting my brother Rasmus, who was running, and I think
Oh,
he
really?
did a
Yeah,
lap. Yeah, he did a lap with you at a time when you had got some cramps, and you were taken to the side to get some massage by your support crew. Can you tell us a bit about your crew and what they did for you, and what happened at that time when you even had to step on the side of
yeah,
the track to get some
yeah, yeah.
massage for cramps?
Well, you know what they say about my team, eh? It's a Formula One team, eh? So yeah, my stepfather is always there. My mother, um, yeah, my stepfather is usually the one who takes care of the pacing plan and who's behind the computer all the time to look at the pacing and if everything goes to plan. My mother has a little bit of mental support, of course. And then I have my physio, Jeroen, who is always there also, who was last year also in Hungary. He, yeah, he massages me every little break, loosens up my ankles. And then I have a little friend who came over also, who was the first time here, and he just took care of the nutrition alone. So almost 48 hours he took care of the nutrition. Yeah, it was nice to see him also, and he was really doing a good job because yeah, almost has to eat every 15 minutes. So every time I pass the corner to my tent, he was already standing there with my food. And then I also had my friend and manager, Machas, who came over, yeah, who also can tell me the right things at the right moment. And then also my niece was there and a little bit of friends. So yeah, I had a lot of people there supporting me. Especially also during the night, there were people on the other side of the track where it was like very quiet. They were there, standing there to cheer me on.
But you
And
had some specialty then, the graveyard shift. What is that? Some special music at night, or that?
um, well, of course, I listen to music. Eh? Yeah. But I try to limit the music because for me, like music is like a little drug, and yeah, I also didn't start the race with music because if I get a bad moment or a difficult moment, I cannot go into my bag of tricks to get the music out. So I want to keep that a little bit for when I'm really struggling or having a bad moment. Um,
Yeah, and did you have any problems? I understand that you had some cramps at some point, maybe in the second night or something. But
yes.
you mentioned that you didn't have many problems with your stomach, or. But tell me about the issues that you did have, apart from the motivational dips, of course.
Yeah. Well, of course, like told you, for a world record, everything has to go perfect, and my race was near perfect. Of course, I had some issues, but they were yeah really minor. The cramp was a big one. Um, I believe it was the second night, yes, and I was like 100 meters in front of my tent, and all of a sudden my hamstring pulled. And yeah, I couldn't run anymore. And it was also in front of the tent of Bartos, and his crew came to help me. Um, so I walked to my tent, and that's where we lost a little bit of distance. I lost like 15 minutes or so. Um, my stomach also was yeah very good. My nutrition was nice. I didn't had any issues with digestion or puking because there were other runners who were like really having trouble. Like Stine was really struggling with her food. She was puking the whole time. Also Bartos was like at times very sick. So yeah, I'm very happy that everything went so smoothly.
What was your energy plan? What did you take? And did you have like a plan for a certain number of grams of carbs per hour, etc.?
Well, I try to keep it simple during an ultra marathon. Mostly stick to gels because the less my stomach has to work, the more energy can go to my muscles to run. So just energy gels and in combination with sports drinks, like with isotonic drinks, and then every little break I got something. Yeah, something as like food, like real foods, but it was also mixed. So I just it was like in a bottle, and I just had to drink it almost with some protein, with some carbs. Yeah, and I tried to shoot around 90 or 100 grams carbohydrates per hour, and it worked perfectly. So yeah, I but yeah, that's something you have to train. Also, you have to train a lot on nutrition, and I went to Kenya twice this year, and I had a lot of time to try that and to train on that and to train my stomach. Mm, but it's
Yeah, and
different for everybody.
yeah, and of course it has to be more or less perfect if you're breaking a world record. Even though 48 hours is a distance or discipline that has not been run so much, apart from Yiannis Kouros, he had like the top eight distances
Yeah.
or something before. But now you have broken his record twice, both 6 days last year and now 48 hours. What does it mean to you? Not only just to break records, but also to topple Yiannis Kouros, the legend, like the GOAT, as many considers him.
Yeah, he is the goat, of course, and I have a lot of respect for him. And if you look at his achievements, it's just remarkable. Um, but I don't really look to break his records. I just like to break records that people say are impossible, and that was the 48 hours, 30 years that record has stand, and last year the 6 days, also 20 years for me. It gives a lot of motivation to try that, just to know if I can do that. And yeah, to be able to succeed and break it, it's just yeah, amazing feeling. It gives me so much satisfaction, and yeah, I'm already dreaming about the next. Yeah.
Yeah, let's get back to that at the end of this interview to see what you
Yes.
have next, because you normally people are not thinking ahead so soon after they have broken a tough record like this. But I mean, also there are purists, of course, that talk about okay, now they have different shoes that gives advantage both during training and racing. There's different nutrition that may also give other advantages, etc. What do you say to those purists who say that? Oh, you cannot compare a record to what Yiannis Kouros did 30 years ago.
Well, it is true that technology is improving, but it's with every sports. Like in the Tour de France, they also improve every year. Um, and yeah, of course, in the 90s, they didn't have the technology they have today, and you have to respect that also. But yeah, the shoes are also improving. But I still believe the legs has to do it. Like your shoes are not gonna run so many miles extra. It's the legs that has to do it, I believe. And yeah, I don't run with carbon. Like I didn't run now with carbon. So um, yeah, it's of course it's an improvement, but I still believe you yourself has to do it. And if you're not having the training or the talent, or you're not gonna achieve the record. So yeah.
And what do you say also now? Because a few weeks ago there was another 6 day race where Ivan Zaborski broke the record you set last year, but there was a lot of controversy if that would be ratified or not, both because of him celebrating with the Russian flag, and then discussions about if there were doping controls, etc., etc. What do you say about all these discussions that take light away from the performances and also maybe set your performances in a different light? Rather than just discussing the performance, we might
Yeah.
also discuss all these things
Yeah, yeah,
around
yeah.
it.
Well, Ivan, his performance was amazing. Eh, he did really good. But yeah, rules are rules, and I believe you should follow the rules. And yeah, there's gonna be a lot of yeah, discussions about everything. But there just has to be clean rules about everything. Like um, Like, for example, I did a doping test last year after my 6 days, and now I hear it wasn't uh, like necessary, but I did it anyway because I don't want to have these discussions after my records. And now I did it also. So right after my race, there was a woman with me to do a doping test, and I did it. And I fight for a clean sport. I find it very important, and I'm going to fight for it um, my whole career. So yeah, everybody knows the rules, and yeah, it's just simple. Just follow the rules, and you'll be good. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, that's important, and it's great to hear you talk like that. And talking about your 6-day race from Hungary last year, what lessons did you learn from that race that you could use in this 48-hour record run, so that you maybe could not learn before you had done that 6-day race?
Um, Mentally, I believe I'm became much stronger because I did the 6 days last year. And now, like I told you, the mindset was it's just 2 days. So I survived a brutal 6 days last year. Now it's going to be 2 days. Okay, I have to run a little bit faster, but I'm going to survive this also. And that was just the mindset throughout the whole race. Um, and also, yeah, I believe I can run farther during a 6-day race if I have to do it again now. And that was also a little bit of confidence to take in my race now. That I can achieve a bigger distance. So that you can just take a little bit more risks, and I did it. I took the risk in the beginning of the 48-hour race, and also the nutrition. We learned also a little bit last year, and every race you become more smart about everything. Also the shoes, like I changed shoes. Like last year, I ran with Hoka. Now I'm with Mount Coast, which it's much better for me. Like for the first time in my life, I didn't have any issues with my feet because of the toe box with Mountain Coast is like special. My feet swell, of course, which is inevitable during an ultra marathon. But because of the big toe box at the front of the shoe, it doesn't get pressured, so I don't feel it. It's just amazing. And also the brakes. I knew I could do it like 6 minutes. It just every time you learn so much, and every lesson you take to another race. Yeah.
And still, you have done so few races, and you have done so many impossible records already. And a couple of weeks before this race, it seemed on social media that you were confident that you had a dream to break this record. Did that? I mean, being open about your ambitions, does it put more pressure on you, or does it give you more focus to actually achieve what you're talking about?
Well, 2 weeks ago, I did like a little risky, um, yeah, I would say a message. I put a message out there that the record will fall, and I,
Like a
I,
prophecy.
I did that, and I truly believed that it would fall, and I had so much confidence in my training, in my tapering, and I was looking at my numbers and at my heart rates and my sleep, and this was the first time ever that I was so well rested and energized before a race, and I knew deep down inside that I was going to break it. I also knew that the field was very strong and that we would push each other to the limit. And yeah, um, the conditions were also perfect.
You didn't
And
have any problems with the heat because it was quite hot during the days?
yeah, but the shade from the trees were, yeah. I didn't had a lot of sun, to be honest, because we are running in the park, and it's the perfect course. It's like a dream of a course, and if all those things come together, you can achieve a world record. Yeah.
And that's what you did. And I mean, you've been open with your ADHD that you have been struggling with. Now that you are doing these multi-day races, running around like a very monotonous and boring thing to do, many people would say. Does that calm your mind, or does it stir it up even more? I mean, how do you see that? Do you see that as something that you bring in as a problem, or something that actually helps you during these races?
Well, my AGHD is a huge reason why I do this because when I was very little, when I was a little child, my parents didn't know what to do with me because, yeah, I had AGHD and I had too much energy. I was terrible at school. I couldn't concentrate, and for me, sports was always my go to, my therapist, and it has been from a young age. I played basketball. I played all kind of sports, and then I started doing these challenges. And for me, it's the perfect getaway for my ADHD, and I turned it in something positive because yeah, ADHD can be something negative, but we try to switch it to something positive. And with all my energy now, I can do this. And then with the will to train and the will to sacrifice everything, I believe it's a huge reason why I can do all these things and can keep motivated to continue and not be satisfied with one record, but already looking forward to the next. And yeah, it's a crazy road. It's I yeah, 10 years ago I would never believe what I do now, and that's the beauty of life. Sometimes things happen, and you have to just embrace your path and just follow your passion. Yeah.
And I mean, you're a superstar in the sport now. And before you were like the adventurer Matthieu Bonne, now you're also the ultra runner Matthieu Bonne. And I understand that you had a lot of support in your hometown during this race. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah. Of course, I was an adventurer a few years ago, and but now the last few years, everything is starting to get more serious, and these mythical records are coming into in my view, and um, yeah, you just have to take the chance once they are there, and yeah, of course, my hometown is supporting me and everybody in Belgium, and yeah, it's just nice to see all the support. But not just from my home country, also everywhere I go now in a race, people are cheering for me, and it's nice. It's amazing.
And you say that you talk a lot about records and that you want to break another record. How important is that? What happens? I think I asked you even last year when you broke the 6 day record. What happens when you no longer break the record? Like this time, you even told everyone 2 weeks before, I'm going to break it. What happens if you don't?
Well, yeah. I don't think about that, to be honest. My mindset is to just to win, and I'm not thinking about a negative result. Maybe that's a little bit naive, but yeah, that's just how I am, and I always envision myself winning. And yeah, I'm also very young still, so yeah, um,
Yeah, maybe that is
I
what is required to break such records. Because if you have too much respect for those distances, then of course they will become impossible. But if you think that it is possible to do the impossible, then it becomes possible.
yeah, true. And just when people say that this record will never be broken, and yeah, it gives so much motivation, and it's intrigues me to try it because I always been intrigued to like a little bit of danger or something that's forbidden a little bit, or yeah, just uh, I'm always attracted to something new, to something extraordinary, to yeah. And if people tell me something is not possible, it's burning me, and I want to see, yeah, well, maybe it is possible. How can we make it work? And then you just start training and preparing a plan, and then yeah, yeah, that's
And you said before that you're already looking forward to the next record. What do you have in mind?
well, I set out a crazy ambition to try, or yeah, to try to break all the ultra running world records. So yeah, I'm thinking about the 24 hours, the 48, the 72, the 6 days, the 1,000 miles, and the 10 days. So that's my goal. That's my vision, and I want to try at least to break them all.
Does
So
that mean that you will participate in the 24-hour World Championships later this year, or will you try to break the record in another race?
maybe, but I think the 24 hours is very 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 sharp. I've seen Sorokin in Kenya a few weeks ago, and he's an extraordinary athlete. I think his records will be very very tough to beat. Maybe even close to impossible, because he broke Kouros his record once, and then he broke his own record another time. So it's just crazy. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how the training goes, and um, for me, it will also a little bit a new approach because I don't really train a lot on speed, so it will be very new for me. But yeah, that's something different, and I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I mean, it looks, it sounds like you are turning more and more into an ultra runner than an adventurer. Is it that what do you look at yourself that way, or do you still have other kinds of records and endurance feats in mind?
Well, that's the problem a little bit. Like I love to do all the three sports, like swimming, cycling, and running. Um, and I had ambition to do another swimming world record this year, but I chose not to do it because I want to focus on ultra running, and I'm now in the flow of running, and I know it takes a lot of time to be in this shape. And when I have to do like a swim, or yeah, I have to gain a lot of weight, and I have to start running a little bit less, and yeah, so I try to get everything out of my running shape now, and
And then you'll
yeah,
do the rest later.
yeah, probably. But now I just want to take everything in running, and we'll see what happens. Yeah.
So let's just finish with some quick questions here. Which hurts more, hour 45 of running or hour 55 of the Corinth swim?
um. Well, there's a big difference because during the swim there was no one chasing me. There was no clock chasing me, and in ultra running you have to run against the clock. So swimming is just swimming from A to B, and you can swim as fast or as slow as you want. But in these ultra running races, you have to follow a plan, and you have to get to a distance at a certain time in the race, and that makes it so hard. So yeah, the running is the toughest of all. Yeah.
And of course, because you didn't have many issues, the next question is maybe easy to answer. But is it something that you got tired of eating that you never want to see again after the 48 hours in Poland?
Um, no, actually, no. Yeah, at one point I was eating like energy fruits a little bit, and after 24 hours, I have trouble like chewing. It always happens to me, and then I switch back to gels. But it's just in a moment, of course, just because you're having little yeah in your mouth, and yeah. But no, I liked everything about the nutrition. Yeah.
And what song? You said that you almost see it as a drug to listen to music, but what song would you put on at 3 a.m. in the middle of the night when you feel a bit down?
Mostly it's like house music because there are no voices, and it's just like the sound of the music, and I can just run on the beats, and for me it's just perfect to just keep going, and um also drum and bass a little bit when I need it the most, when I have to run a little bit faster. I listen to that. Yeah.
And what does a perfect recovery day in Bredene look like?
Well, I'm trying to sleep as much as possible now, but it's not so easy because my body is still thinking it has to run. Um, yeah, I try to take naps during the day, but it's also not so easy. And I talked to Bartos a few hours ago, and he's also really struggling with his sleep and his recovery. So I think the next 2 3 days going to be a little bit difficult, and then it should improve normally. Yeah.
And let's hope you also have some time to enjoy what you just did, because you broke another impossible record, 485 kilometers, world champion. Congratulations again, Matthieu Bonne.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much.